You're listening to the Tuesday Review. I'm Nathan, joined by James this week. Callum can't make it, unfortunately. Big week this week. We're talking about things with weird endings, essentially. Things, yeah. A little bit of housekeeping first. A few weeks ago, we got given a lovely comic book by a friend of the show, Raphael's dad, Mark. Thank you ever so much. We'll send some photos on the socials when we get a chance of this comic book. A Star Wars comic book. A big one, an older one. I think it was Empire Strikes Back, I believe, or Return of the Jedi. I'll have to look. It wasn't A New Hope.
Basically, it was just like, he listened to the show and he's like, these guys are nerds. They like Star Wars. And he's like, here's an old comic book I found.
Look, you know what? Respect. It was one of the original trilogy.
No, yeah.
It could have been like a Phantom Menace comic book. I would have just been like...
You would have been like, thank you. And then turn around and threw it in the trash.
Exactly. But we appreciate the support. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tonight we're going to be talking about a couple things.
Yeah.
We've got The Curse, starring Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie and Emma Stone. And Saltburn, starring Barry Keoghan.
Keoghan, yeah.
Yes.
I used to say Barry Keoghan, but...
Yeah. Apparently he pronounces it Keoghan, so we'll pronounce it Keoghan.
Yeah.
Some of those Irish names are a little bit difficult. So I guess we'll start with Saltburn.
Okay, yeah.
Because it came out first.
Should we just do spoilers? I feel like everyone who's seen it...
full spoilers for Saltburn.
Well, we'll do a
thoughts briefly.
Briefly, and then we'll go into spoilers.
Yeah, we don't want to hang around too much.
And we'll do a, what do you call it, timestamp?
Yeah. Let's just... Firstly, we'll discuss... I think the actual production and the filmmaking is really good.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
Special mention to the fact that they have nighttime scenes where I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice there wasn't just kind of all black and grey and you couldn't see anything. You know, like, I was able to... Some of the nighttime scenes were nice. And like they
it's
were
a pretty
effective.
nice looking movie, yeah.
And it's in 4:3 for a lot of it.
You know what? I didn't even remember that. I saw it when it came out a couple months ago? More.
Yeah.
I talked about it on the show briefly.
Yeah.
Because I saw the writer-director Emerald Fennell. Is that her name?
Yeah.
I saw her, Promising Young Woman, and I liked that movie. And then I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, oh, this was kind of cool and like psychedelic and maybe weird. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to go see this. I saw it when it came out at the cinema. And yeah, I thought it was good, but I had problems with it, but I didn't want to spoil it for you guys. So when it came up on the show, I was just like, I think it's good, but I didn't really want to talk about it more. And since then, it's gone crazy. Like everyone, because everyone's talking about it. So now everyone online is
even on social media, people have been asking us like, oh, I want to see what you guys think of Saltburn. I'm like, well, okay, I'll go watch it, I guess. It's on Amazon. I don't have to go out of my way. Yeah,
you and Callum were like, well, I guess we have to watch it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't forgotten it. But yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it.
I guess it's a different experience watching it at home versus in the cinema, right? Because you probably wouldn't have noticed as much some of the technical stuff there. The fact that it was in 4:3, I thought was really nice. I enjoyed watching it in 4:3. It looked really nice.
Yeah. It's a good looking movie. I think it's well acted. The cast is all pretty good. I think
the script is terrible.
That's what I was kind of getting at. It's. This is why I didn't hate it and why I said it was good, because technically I think it's good. It looks nice. It sounds nice. The actors are good. I thought it was... I love Rosamund Pike. She was hilarious. I thought all her bits were funny. I think Emerald Fennell is a good director.
Rupert Grant's good in it too.
Oh yeah, he's always good. Yeah. It was funny. Barry Keoghan is terrifying in the best way possible. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying, like I had problems with it and I didn't really want to go into detail about that. For now, I'll just say it's very shallow.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's very... I feel like it's very surface level.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with everything you're saying. I was on board until about like the last quarter. And then I'm thinking like, is there a message here?
I don't want to be one of those people, but I guessed the quote unquote twist pretty much the first scene. You know, like the first couple of scenes, I was like, oh, I know what's going on.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't really like. I didn't guess it, but I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
But I was honestly, no spoilers, but I was very disappointed with the twist. It was very, as you said, it's very surface level.
Yeah.
And it's very shallow.
Yeah.
And a movie like this needs a message, and I don't think there was a message.
I don't think it even needs a message. It's just like...
I need subtext.
Yeah, it's not subtle and it's not very...
Yeah, there's...
Also, one of the problems I had with it is that it tries very hard to be transgressive. And I'm not bothered by that sort of, content. But that's what's got people talking. But again, it just felt very surface level. Like, let's do shocking things for the sake of it. And it's worked for them because now everyone's talking about it and seeing it. But yeah, I feel like it doesn't really mean or add anything to the movie.
No, I agree with
and
that.
I like those scenes because they're messed up. But I'm just kind of like, shrug my shoulders. Like,
yeah. No, I 100% agree with everything you're saying.
It's like I liked watching it in the cinema, but then it ended and I was just like...
Like, the movie could have had good messages about, like, let's just say, the way rich people use people for their entertainment, right?
Mm.
There's something there that they could have done more with, and they just didn't.
It's also... People have said this online, but it's like a sort of not Gen Z, but a sort of more TikTok generation, like hip, modern, talented Mr. Ripley, except nowhere near as, subtle as that movie and emotionally effective as that movie.
I can see where they're coming from, but...
You know what I mean?
No.
It's like, I've seen this story before, done better. And this one's entertaining, but it's not, like, I don't know how, like, I'm not saying I won't watch it again. One day I might, but I don't know if I will watch this again anytime soon. Like, it's not one of those movies where I was like, I have to see this again.
There's nothing, the best kind of movies to rewatch are the movies where there's different layers, there's stuff you can miss. And
or just something that was so fun and entertaining that you want to revisit it, or...
Exactly, and I don't think this movie has any of that. As you said, it's very shallow. It's very surface level. And someone said one of the best parts about the movie is that they had access to Superbad on DVD in 2006.
Yeah, yeah. I was when I was watching the movie, I'm like, hang on, didn't that come out in like the same year that this is?
Yeah, that's the super rich for you.
Yeah, and I was like, I guess they got a. I mean, to be fair, everyone in 2006 had like cam rips and DVD screener copies and stuff like that.
But look, as you said, there's a lot of entertaining scenes. There's a lot of good moments, but there's nothing binding it all together really to keep it in a nice kind of not cohesive package, but it has no substance. Yeah, it's just like, well, what am I here for?
Yeah, and it ends. I was like I said, it's like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen, and but okay, None of the characters are particularly likable either, which that's not necessarily a bad thing. You and I were just talking about Succession before we turned on the mics. I'm like, those are all awful people, but they're so fun to watch, and it's such an engaging show. So that's not necessarily a problem, but like none of the characters are really...
No, there's no reason to like any of the characters.
Yeah, I wasn't on anyone's side.
Yeah.
Again, not that you have to be, but it felt extra... Not alienating, maybe that's not the right word.
You can't empathize, right? So, like, a movie is always good. Like, the most effective movies are where you can empathize with the character.
But like, even if you're watching a movie about a horrible person doing horrible things, if it's a good movie, like, there's just some sort of engagement, even if you don't condone what they're doing. But yeah, in this movie, I was just like, I don't really care who wins, quote unquote. And I'm someone who hates rich people and thinks we should eat them. But that wasn't really what the movie was going for, I don't think.
No.
Was like... Because when it's revealed what's revealed, it's like it's not like it's a rich versus poor or the rich people get their comeuppance, or
No.
that's not really what the movie's going for.
No.
Yeah.
I agree. I think we'll move into spoilers.
Yeah. I'll write down the time. What time is it?
So on the recording, we're at 12 and a half minutes.
12 and a half minutes.
So we'll timestamp this in for the show.
Alright, so spoiler warning for Saltburn.
So yeah, like
Also, there's only so much things we can say live on the radio, so it's like, how much can we actually spoil without?
I mean, we've got our censor beep.
Oh yeah,
Goes a bit too long.
That actually goes way too long.
Yeah. We'll have to trim that down. It spikes really hard on the recording too.
Wait, son of a. Yeah,
we need to like half that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Saltburn, the twist at the end is it was all a plan to manipulate and get his way into
Barry
the family.
Keoghan is
Oliver Quick.
Yeah, goes to he's pretending to be a poor kid who's got a scholarship at is it Oxford? At Oxford, and he like makes friends with this super rich kid, this like really good looking guy, and what's his name? Jacob Elordi.
Elordi, that's it.
Yeah, he's so hot right now. He's Elvis in the new Priscilla movie. Everyone's going nuts about him. He makes friends with him, and for the holiday break or whatever, Felix, the rich kid, takes Oliver to his mansion called Saltburn, where all their eccentric rich family live.
It's better than a mansion. It's a castle.
Yeah, exactly. It's a manor. Yeah. And then Oliver worms his way into the family. And then it's revealed that he was lying. He's not really a poor kid.
And he was organizing.
Yeah, it was basically organizing his how to manipulate and like get a relationship with this guy so he could get into the family, and then
basically systematically break down the family itself in order to, I guess, take control of Saltburn and be wealthy.
And also have sex with everyone in the family. And then
I mean, I don't know, man. What the nobles do is what the nobles do.
Yeah, I guess he poisons them.
Yeah.
And then he wins at the end and gets the money, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I knew this was like when he's like crying about his junkie mum, and I'm like, oh, he's faking it. Like that's going to be the reveal.
Yeah.
And it is. And
actually, probably one of the best scenes in the movie is when they go to his house. And it's like there's some awkward tension.
Yeah, because I knew that scene was coming, like the reveal of his parents aren't really junkies, or he's not an orphan or whatever his lie was. And that scene was good, but it reminded me of another movie called Thoroughbreds, which is about like two girls who are like sociopaths, and they just kind of mess with people. And I thought that's a much better, like more subtle version as well of this movie, of like, what would an actual like rich young sociopath be like? Because this movie is very much the shocking like set piece.
Yeah.
And
it's over the top.
Yeah. And like that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think also one of my problems with Saltburn is that it doesn't go far enough. Like,
yeah, if you're gonna do a movie like this, you can't half-ass it. You need to go full. Yeah.
One of the reasons I wanted to see the movie after I saw the trailer, because the trailer's cut in such a way, edited in such a way where it's like a bit more psychedelic, and like there's just like shots of the party, and you're like, what's going on? And there's like these weird shots, and then when you watch the movie, it's quite simple in terms of its presentation.
No, mate,
it looks nice.
We were expecting Caligula. I need my Caligula.
Yeah. But I just mean in terms of the filmmaking, I was just like, I was expecting to get more crazy and psychedelic. You're expecting it to
go insane.
Yeah, and then I was expecting maybe the party we see in the trailer is like this huge thing that goes on for ages, and I'm like, no, it's like one scene in the movie.
And he said it's quite a straight-laced film, other than the shocking acts.
In terms of the editing and the cinematography, like I think there's like one bit where the camera twirls around or something, but otherwise it's very got a stand, and I was just like, this movie would be a lot better if it was just a bit more crazy and like it was more. It threw you off balance more.
The final scene in the movie is what we needed more of.
Yeah, the dance scene.
The dance. No, that was an amazing scene. I'm not just saying it because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, the meme kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like his dance moves.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Just flopping around.
Yeah, but now, not, you know, all right.
Don't be rude.
Just the choreography,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the tracking shot, the music.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the vibe the whole movie needed to have almost.
Yeah, I don't know. It just I think presentation wise they could have probably gone weirder.
Yeah.
And that would have made it more unsettling and more kept you off balance the whole movie.
They could have used that to lean more into the kind of sociopath angle where like what is real?
Yeah.
He's gaslighting.
Also,
the
yeah,
family.
he's obviously crazy, but all the crazy things he does, it's just like it felt like someone writing a crazy person. And again, it's a movie, it's supposed to be entertaining. I don't really care like that it wasn't quote unquote realistic.
This movie needed to have been made in Italy in the 70s as a giallo.
I mean, I definitely think, you know, a lot of times on the show we complain about, you know, American movies now too sanitized and very prudish. I guess this is a British film, which is, I guess, closer to a European film, which European films are still just much more comfortable with nudity and sex and...
Even just the themes, like, we talked recently on the show about, like, was it Calvert?
Yeah.
Just like, the movie needed to be a little more extreme in different ways than it kind of...
But even
as you said, we got surface level shock.
Yeah, exactly. It felt very... The shocking scenes in this...
Oh, yeah, he drank some bathwater.
Yeah.
Oh, how shocking.
Bathwater, wink, wink.
Yeah.
Tainted bathwater.
How shocking.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like watching it, you're like, oh, this is weird. And I was kind of like, oh, yeah, I love this weird stuff. But yeah, again, it just felt kind of surface level. At the end of the day, I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Even like the grave scene. Okay.
Yeah, that bit I was just like, okay.
Yeah, okay. Again, there's just not...
Yeah.
No, I agree with you 100%.
It's also... it's a shame Callum's not here because he said he really liked the movie and
Yeah.
I think he would have added a good perspective on it. But I think it's something you and me and him have talked about before where there's also a lot of audience members, both young and old, I won't just pick on younger audience members, who anything that's a bit racy automatically is like, oh my God, I don't know how to deal with this. And I'm like, you need to broaden your horizons because this was not that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad.
And again, everything that happens, all the crazy stuff that happens.
I mean, you don't even really see much
exactly.
Anyway. Like,
and I was just kind of like...
A lot of it's inferred.
Yeah,
like,
and I was like, I've seen more hardcore stuff.
I've seen worse on the TV.
Yeah.
On network TV.
Yeah. HBO does this every week.
Yeah, that's it. Have they seen Game of Thrones? Yeah.
Yeah, so,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I think because now the movie's got that word of mouth and everyone's talking about it.
We needed this to be made by Nathan Fielder.
I don't think I could handle that. Like Benny Safdie and Nathan Fielder's Saltburn.
Yeah.
That would have blown my mind.
Yeah. That's the movie we wanted.
Yeah. See, the ending of The Curse...
Yeah, exactly. Except imagine Nathan Fielder's one of the footmen at the manor house.
Nathan Fielder as Richard E. Grant's character?
No,
he couldn't do that.
He'd have to be a footman.
Nathan Fielder as Barry Keoghan's character. And the movie stays exactly the same, except Nathan Fielder just does his shtick. Yeah. That would have been amazing.
That's a very different, better film.
Yeah, that's a much better movie. But yeah, I mean, just because of the discourse now around it, because it's like shocking, everyone's talking about it, and everyone's like, I'm not mad, but I feel like also, again, like I said, it's not a movie I would probably revisit that much or think about that much if it wasn't the fact that everyone's like talking about it now.
I talked to a friend of the show, Alex, at work, and I was recommending it to him on the filmmaking. I told him straight about my feelings. Like, I think the script has problems.
Yeah.
The twist, they don't earn the ending. But the filmmaking itself is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big Barry Keoghan fan, so like he definitely drew me in as well. So like anything he does, and Emerald Fennell, I think anything she does, like I'm still interested in. And I didn't not like this movie, but yeah, I wasn't like, oh my god, like this is amazing, or
Yeah.
But again, even like, because there's some people who are like, this movie sucks, it's the worst thing ever. And I kind of understand that reaction, but I didn't feel that way either because, like I said, presentation-wise, I think it's nice.
The filmmaking
like I
is
said,
good,
it's not the best, it could have been better. And I like the cast. And I would watch a whole movie just about Rosamund Pike's character, like being just a sort of rich, aloof lady saying like weird passive aggressive things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. The families could be a good time.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame we can't say more. But yeah, hit us up on social media at Tuesday Review AU if you want to talk more about it, or send us your opinions and we can pick this conversation up maybe on the show next week.
Using just emojis.
Yeah, what are the emojis? There's lots of eggplants.
Eggplant, bathtub.
The squirt.
Yeah. What else? What other emojis would apply to Saltburn? I guess a house.
House, yeah. The angel. Doesn't he have angel wings at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing. When they re-show the bike scene, I was like, I could see that in my mind. That was going to happen.
Yeah,
like, I knew it was going to happen. I felt like I've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I was just like,
yeah.
okay, whatever.
Here's how I did it.
Yeah. And I was like,
Roll my
yes.
eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, look, we'll be... we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back after these short messages. You are back on the Tuesday Review. Segueing ourselves now into into really uncomfortable territory.
Oh, yeah. This is the
Um,
real shit right here.
The Curse, starring Nathan Fielder, Benny Safdie, and Emma Stone.
Co-created by Benny Safdie and Nathan Fielder.
Written by Nathan Fielder.
Yeah.
And Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie present.
Yeah. And Nathan Fielder directed every episode, I believe.
Not every episode.
Almost.
I think Benny Safdie did one.
One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
But,
he did most of them, I think. But yeah, I mean,
the real uncomfortable stuff.
yeah, I mean, if you're a long time listener of the show, you know we're big Nathan Fielder fans, and Safdie Bros fans. But I remember when they announced the show, I was like, Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie teaming up, this is gonna be amazing.
It was struggle waiting for all the episodes to finish because I watched it over a weekend.
You and Callum binged it all when it was finished, but I was watching it week to week because I was like so excited and I didn't want to get spoiled or anything. And I was just like, once I watched the first episode, I couldn't not continue.
So Nathan Fielder directed all the episodes but episode 2 and 3, which were directed by David and Nathan Zellner.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, originally I thought the show was on HBO because Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal was on HBO, and we talked about that.
Yeah, he doesn't have brand loyalty, does he? He's been everywhere.
Well, I don't think now the way the landscape is, most creators seem to be just going anywhere.
Yeah, you go where the work is.
Yeah. Or they finish up a contract with someone and they go somewhere else. But yeah, it's on Showtime, and it's like not a reality. It's like about a reality. Like it's about a Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone play a married couple who like do one of those home reality shows.
Their show is called Flip-Lanthropy.
Like Emma Stone should get an award just for being able to say that. I wonder how many takes
Flip-Lanthropy.
I want to know how many takes it took her to get that.
And in the end, it gets changed to green. Spoilers for The Curse.
Oh, should
I
we just
guess,
do full spoilers
full
now?
Spoilers. Let's not.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
This show's amazing, so watch it. But also, you kind of need to be aware of cringe and creepiness.
It's not a show. It's not a beginner's show, right? If you're not
Yeah.
a fan of Nathan Fielder's kind of content, this will
Yeah.
be hard to get into.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
Maybe watch the rehearsal and then watch Uncut Gems, and then you might be prepared.
Yeah, it's like a cross of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be like, you have to be able to deal with the anxiety.
Yeah, that's what this show is at its core. Is it's anxiety.
Yeah.
The whole show is just filled with people having different anxieties about different subjects constantly.
It's so effective. Yeah, like I was saying, it's about the couple and they do that show. And we sort of follow them. And then they get
Like their
Penny
problem is
Safdie's
just
character to direct the show. And it's like, their problem is, how to present themselves and how to do the right thing.
and their problems just keep basically getting worse and worse the longer the kind of show goes on.
And there's also this, none of them are really
they're all
good,
terrible
they're
people.
They're not good people.
No, they're not.
And even when they're quote unquote trying to do a good thing, it's like they're doing it for the wrong reasons. And the show just has this underlying like threatening feeling to it.
There's a sinister undercurrent to everything in this show.
And as it goes on, it gets more surreal until the ending, which is like completely out of this world.
Before we talk about the end,
Yeah.
like up until quite close to the end of the show, I was thinking like up until kind of the curse isn't real in a sense, right? I was under the impression that it was actually Benny Safdie's character that copped the curse, and it wasn't Nathan Fielder.
Well, I think the name, The Curse, especially after the finale, I was just like, it's like I've heard different interpretations. I'm like, was Nathan Fielder the curse to Emma Stone, or was Emma Stone cursed?
Because like,
were they all cursed?
I mean,
like,
they're probably all cursed.
Yeah.
But like, if you look at the way kind of Benny Safdie's character, he has blackouts and he has all these issues going on. I'm like, is he the one that's cursed? But no, he's just a terrible alcoholic, right? Essentially.
Yeah.
And he has his mobile
But I think that the thing with the show is that the name The Curse can be applied to
all of them,
all the characters for different reasons. I think there's a lot more going on, especially after the finale, whereas like I was just like, there's so many interpretations you can have of what the hell that meant. Because I don't think it's as simple as just one thing. And I think they designed it that way because there's a lot of layers.
There's a lot of layers. Well, Benny Safdie said season 2's not off the table, apparently.
Well, that's what I was going to... So this is what frustrates me about shows like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought it was going to be an ongoing series, and then it ends. I was like...
That's kind of final.
Yeah. Okay. But then it's still listed as season 1. Like it's not listed as a limited series.
Well, look, this is a quote from Benny Safdie on the possibility of season 2. He said, "It's not off the table. There are ideas, but it's definitely too premature to put them out into the world right now."
I think also like this could remain a kind of quote unquote limited series for a long time, and then they could come back and do a sequel.
I mean, that's
series.
the other kind of issue is, Safdie, the Safdie brothers or Benny Safdie, they're kind of in-demand filmmakers.
Well, they've also recently announced that they're not doing movies together anymore. Oh. So I think they're like going on their separate creative paths, which makes sense because Benny Safdie's been doing a lot of acting as well as filmmaking. And they made that. I think they made that movie with the new movie with Adam Sandler. But then now they're going like doing their own thing. But
if we get more content like The Curse, I'm happy.
Oh yeah.
I just unpopular opinion. I don't like the ending.
Okay, why? Because we're in spoiler territory, right?
Yeah, but we went full spoilers from when we started.
Okay, so yeah, let's go for it. Why?
I don't think it... So, it goes too surreal too quickly from what came before. And I feel like there's maybe some plot lines they could have cleaned up a little bit more regarding their relationship and kind of themes of parenthood, and they could have done more with that last hour than having Nathan Fielder floating away, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I feel like there were things that, like the relationship between him and Benny Safdie's character could have been dealt with a little bit better. Everything could have had a bit more of a bow. Even the security guard, and like they could have just done a little bit more with like how the show affected the community, and because it picks up 6 months later or whatever it is. They could have done a lot more with just being like, oh no, Nathan Fielder's in a tree. Haha.
I think a lot of it, I understand what he's saying, and I don't necessarily disagree, but I think a lot of it can be implied throughout the show and even in the finale of like they were doing things for selfish reasons, and they were doing things, they were quote unquote helping people, but not in the way they really needed. And you can see that when they gift Abshi was the African guy?
Yeah, I think it was Abshi.
They gift him the house, and it's just like,
oh, now I have to pay the...
it's just like, you know, what about the land tax? And
Abshi.
Yeah. And it's just like they're giving people not exactly what they need, and they're doing it so that they feel better. And that's doubly represented at the end when Nathan Fielder is in the tree and he's like, I need you to put the net around me and drag me down. And they're just like, no. And they cut, and he flies away. And it's just like, they're trying to help him, but they're not giving him what he needs. And I feel like after he flies away and there's just shots of the town, and it's just like they really didn't do anything, and the things they did do didn't help, and things they did do weren't for any right reason.
No, there's that undercurrent through the show that their work is pointless anyway, because it's like, you know, like they try to pay off, you know, like the stolen jeans, because people, they're under the assumption that people are doing it because they need the jeans. It's like, no, they're just stealing them.
Yeah.
Same thing with the houses. Oh, does it have air conditioning? It's like a passive house, but it's terrible to live in. Like, there's that whole kind of thing as well. But, like, I just think from the narrative perspective, like, they went from being a reasonably straight-laced, actual, you know, written program with characters having different dynamics and different kind of subplots. And then it's just like, oh, no, Nathan Fielder's flying away. And I'm like, I understand that kind of there's that message to it. But it just wasn't fulfilling to me.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I just, they could have resolved more.
Yeah.
Instead of Benny Safdie to be like, oh, my friend's flown away. Obviously, you know, like, performative. You know, like everything about
but that's what I love about his character, though. It's like he's just in this cycle of like...
And he's also the worst person,
I feel like,
but he's also the most authentic.
I feel like, I feel like he genuinely does feel grief over the death of his wife, and he feels guilt over it, but he also doesn't stop himself from continuing that cycle. Yeah. And again, like I said, the curse kind of applies to all the characters. Like, I feel like he's part of it as well.
I think Dougie has, in my opinion, the character of Dougie has addiction problems.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, he gambles, he drinks, he has all those kinds of, you know, he has his breathalyzer.
I think, I think he's also addicted to, like, pushing it to the edge and seeing what he can get away with, and... Yeah.
And also, it makes him a great counterpart to Asher, who's more reserved and kind of like a little bit shyer. And so they have that great dynamic of like the overbearing kind of friend who wants to push it to the limit. We'll say the Alum Deep.
The person who derails everything.
Yeah. And, you know, you're a quieter person. Say maybe you're Callum. I don't know.
Yeah.
Using people we know as examples.
Yeah.
But they have a similar dynamic, maybe. You know, like...
Yeah.
In some circumstances.
But yeah, I feel like the relationship in the show is much more complicated.
Yeah, because it's implied they've known each other a long time.
Yeah, and he was Nathan Fielder's high school bully, and Nathan Fielder looks back on those years as like fondly, and Dougie's just like, oh, we treated you really badly, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, we'll just,
Yeah.
mucking
the other
around.
thing.
And
Dougie
it's
likes
just like,
pranks a bit too much.
yeah, and
But then Dougie's also kind of hurt because Asher didn't even ever invite him to Shabbat.
yeah.
And it's like, well, do you blame him? Like, if he takes it seriously and you're all about pranks and pushing things to the edge, maybe he doesn't want it ruined by you.
But yeah, again, like, I don't think Asher would have even seen it that way.
True. That's true.
Like, he just didn't think to invite his other friends. Yeah, I think there's a lot going on. It's a show you definitely have to rewatch now that you know where it ends. I think, the more, even like the rehearsal, like rewatching these type of things, it's like you get more out of it the second time.
Oh, man. We love you, Nate. Can we like, here's my dream guest on the show. Probably Nathan Fielder, but would he come in character or person?
What's the difference?
We don't know the real Nathan
we don't
Fielder,
know whether, I like anything he does, we're there day one, but I think,
I'm glad I watched it like all in one weekend instead of waiting week to week.
Yeah.
It was a very bingeable show.
Because there were, because every Nathan Fielder thing has that sort of cringe element. And there were definitely a lot of moments in the show where I was like watching it like through my, with my teeth clenched, like, stop it. They're making just, And so I was kind of worried for you and Callum to get all that in like 10 episode, like
easy breezy.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys have got the immunity to it now. You've built up your immunity over the years, but
it's cultural.
Yeah. I was just like, stop. There's that bit where he's at the comedy lesson and he does that. And
make people laugh without using words.
Yeah.
And he just makes like a sound, like a weird
like
alien
a silly,
sound.
And no one laughs.
And he like has his hands up by his ears and he's like poking his tongue out. Yeah.
And no one laughs.
And, it's just and then he's like, his face is like...
I almost died.
Yeah.
I was like...
Callum sent me that in like a little video. He was like, oh my God.
The most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. And there are lots of moments like that where I was just like, oh... So to get all that and like binge the whole thing, I took a screenshot of it. I took a photo of it because it was so freaking funny. Let me see if I can find it. When he's doing the comedy lessons, and he's writing notes on his phone of like, oh yeah, here you go, jokes for the show, and like the things he's writing, and I like, you only see it for like 1 second, and I like rewound it and paused it.
I'll read out the list, yeah? So be self-deprecating, e.g. James Corden. Your energy bill will be cheaper than my haircut. Avoid race-based humor. Pop culture funny, e.g. Pepsi commentating. Never try to be funny.
Pepsi commercial, I think.
Pepsi commercial. Never try to be funny. Always punch up, never down. Remember the rule of three, no politics. Puns are safe. I mean, that's a fairly...
Yeah, but it's just so funny that he's such an unfunny person that he has to make these notes of, like, how to be funny.
Yeah. Oh,
it's just so awkward and
some of the awkward moments, like, they're 10 out of 10. Like, the conversations that Asher or Dougie has with other people regarding Asher's medical condition.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can see Ash is like dying inside.
Yeah.
And then it's like silence and Dougie's like, I made it up. It was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, too bad.
Stop
it. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, man. So good.
Yeah, the cherry tomato boys. Like, it's so uncomfortable.
It's so funny, though.
It is.
I love this. Just so silly. Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, it's really good. Again, it's not beginner's television. Watch at your own risk.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like, not that you should have to do your homework to watch anything, but like I feel like,
it's just know what you're in for first. It's not light entertainment. This is heavier kind of stuff in a way. It's not just chuck it on and get some cheap laughs. You have to earn these laughs.
Yeah, and it's like very dry humor.
Yeah,
like it's not
dry.
It's not a sitcom or it's.
Can Emma Stone just win all the awards though?
She's so good.
Like this 2023 for Emma Stone
Hmm.
has probably been her biggest year as an actress, easily. With Poor Things, The Curse.
I mean, when was La La Land? That was a big deal.
That's true.
Yeah. Even though I'm not really a big fan of.
But she's getting in deep with the weird, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean.
This is what we
the
need
more
of.
the more the merrier.
That's another thing you were saying
Poor
before.
Things.
You were saying before about people getting uncomfortable with content. No, I haven't seen Poor Things.
Yeah, we talked about it, I think, last week, where I feel like Poor Things is a much better movie than like something like Saltburn, where there's more going on underneath the surface, and it's just technically it's better and also more weird in terms of cinematography and music. Yeah, I think that I'd recommend Poor Things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to give things star ratings, but now that I've got the Letterboxd account, and I'm trying to sort of review things so that people know where I sort of stand. I gave Poor Things 5 stars and I gave Saltburn 2 stars.
I saw the 2 and I was a little surprised.
Yeah. So that's the discrepancy if you want to put it in that those terms. But yeah, two doesn't mean bad. It just means it's like it was okay. I probably wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah. I mean, you know what?
Maybe 2.5. I don't know.
Yeah. If I want a movie that's well constructed like Saltburn, I'll just go watch The Holdovers again. Like, you know what I mean? If I want
speaking of The Holdovers, I went to see it.
Rewatched it.
I went to see it at the movie because it just came out here in Australia, even though it's been out for months in the US and it's been on streaming in the US for ages, and it already came out on Blu-ray in the US.
It's been on streaming services for a while.
For ages.
Not even just paid, like it's on Peacock.
Yeah, it's insane. And now we're finally getting into cinema, and I was like, well, I have to go see it again because it's so good, and I want this movie to do well. And I'm not stupid. I know every episode we do, it's just complaining and me going on rants and me forgetting things because my brain has turned to mush. But I'm not stupid. Like, I know that they release these things for like proper reasons. Like, Paul Giamatti won the Golden Globe and the Critics' Choice, and now it's got word of mouth of how good this movie is. And now when they release in Australia, there's more people there. And there was a packed house when I went to go see it.
Oh, good.
So I know they do this for reasons, but it's just so frustrating. We live in this world where we love movies, we want to go see them, and there's this whole months of discourse and
we're just not privy to.
That we miss or whatever. And then, but I guess with Saltburn, like it's something like Saltburn, it's extended because people have kept talking about it. But that one, I got on too early for that one because I watched it straight away and no one was, a few people talking about it, but now everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Holdovers, so good. So good. That is
if you're a local listener, please go see it.
Go see it. That's definitely
probably one of my favorite movies of 2023.
Yeah, 100%. Such a good movie. Yeah.
I might have to watch it again.
Yeah, I'd recommend. Yeah. Also, the music for The Curse is so good. It's so unsettling and weird.
Yeah. The score, even the soundtrack when they're playing songs, like there's a good selection of actual licensed music in there too. Yeah. I'm a big fan.
So good.
Everything about The Curse I love.
Anything Nathan Field does, anything.
Except the ending.
Well, I mean...
The 9 episodes, 10 out of 10. The 10th episode, I'm not sold on.
Okay. Me personally, I loved it. But will you agree? Technically, in terms of how they did the flying...
Oh, amazing. Yeah, no.
Mwah.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Incredible.
It was incredible. Technically incredible.
Like... That looked better than most of the big budget action movies that are coming out right now.
Yeah, there was a bit of movie magic there where I'm looking at it, I'm like, I wonder how they did that.
I was just like
even scenes in the house, and I'm like, I wonder how they did that.
Yeah,
and then he's in the tree, and I'm just like, some nice work going on here. Like, is he actually in a tree holding on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
like when he's on the roof and it's just like, I'm just like, oh, how did they... And it's like, there's a lot of good kind of old school movie magic going on there.
Yeah, no. It's
good.
Benny Safdie, flexing his muscles, so to speak, I guess.
Well, Nathan Fielder directed that episode, so...
But
I'm sure they're all... They collaborated on it all. But
Nathan Fielder flexing his muscles, I should say that.
yeah, because also this is like the first time
He's actually directed like something properly.
I guess like
Seriously?
more narrative driven.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of like non-actors and locals they cast, and it's shot in a way where it's like almost like a reality show where there's like from afar and zoom lenses and stuff.
That's another
like
thing that I liked about The Curse. That's one thing I didn't make a note, but I made a note mentally. A lot of The Curse, that's why it's unsettling, because there's a lot of it where you're kind of looking in.
Peering, yeah.
Yeah, there's that kind of like peeping.
But it also adds to that Nathan Fielder element of like, this is a reality show. And so when there are bits where it's like maybe more of a reality show, like Nathan Fielder, Nathan For You type thing, and it blends more into the straight scripted scenes where it's all narrative.
It's the culmination of his expertise, almost. Like
I mean, I hope he does more narrative stuff.
I mean, we kind of want the second season of The Rehearsal, though.
Well, I mean, I think he's already doing that, but I mean, in future, like, it would be awesome to see him just do even just a straight up narrative, like movie or something. Anything he does, we're on board. The Rehearsal almost broke us.
Broke us all.
And
watch The Curse and then go back and watch The Rehearsal if you can get through The Curse.
Oh, you think that's a good idea? Watch a few episodes of Nathan For You.
The Rehearsal is everything that makes you uncomfortable about The Curse, and then put it up to like 10.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a hard one.
Let us know if you listen to the episode and you follow us on the socials. Let us know if you're a fan, or what does he make you uncomfortable?
It'll be interesting to hear from someone who has never seen a Nathan Fielder thing before, and also maybe potentially hasn't seen a Safdie brothers thing before, and is just going to The Curse blind to see what they thought of it. But it's so good.
Yeah, so good.
Can't wait for Rehearsal. Can't wait for whatever both Safdie brothers are doing. Just hook it to my veins.
That's it. Let's hope we're off to a good start 2024. So let's hope it continues.
Yeah.
That's just about all the time we've got for tonight. Thanks for joining me, James.
Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, that's it. Please like and share the Tuesday Review Facebook page, Instagram page, Threads page, X page,
Twitter
page, I should say. Blue Sky and Newsmast pages.
So Nathan's been doing a good job of going hard on the Threads page and engaging people more. So definitely follow us there. But does that mean we can get off Twitter again?
Nah, man. We're still trying to organise.
It's getting worse. It's even worse than it was when I was like super like.
But we just got to maintain our little circle.
Yeah.
I think using all platforms is the key to success and growth.
Yeah.
We don't have to interact with some of the bad.
Yeah, but it's like run by a Nazi and it's full of Nazis and.
But we don't talk to the Nazis. Yeah. We use it for our benefit, not their benefit.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for Twitter.
But if you're on Twitter, just all go over to Threads.
The Threads is a better time. I'm enjoying it. Actively like working for the show. Yeah. On Threads, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Because we're throwing in GIFs and like we're doing all kinds of fun activities. GIFs.
It's not GIFs.
I'll stab you.
I know the guy said it's supposed to be pronounced GIFs, but GIF is like a cleaning product here in Australia, and it's a peanut butter in America. It's GIF. It's graphics interface, whatever.
It's GIF. All right.
No, yuck. Get out. Get out.
All right. Anyway,
what we're talking about? Yeah, follow us on social media at Tuesday Review AU. Get off of Twitter. Go on to Threads. We're going hard on Threads now.
I'm having a lot of fun.
A lot of memes. A lot of GIFs.
A lot of fun.
A lot of this, that, and the other. YouTube.
A lot of shit posting on Threads.
I'm
here for it.
We're on YouTube. We're still uploading our older episodes. Hopefully, once we catch up.
Well, we're getting close to 70 episodes uploaded, so something like that.
We're up to. Where are we at?
We're around that mark.
Yeah. Yeah. So follow us there. Hopefully we'll have more video content coming up soon. Follow me on Letterboxd, Channel Drifter, all one word.
And I'm Nathan B_90.
Yeah, so you can see what we've been watching and
tell us we're wrong.
Yeah, it's okay for you to be wrong about our opinions because we're always right. Well, I'm always right. But yeah, follow us and let us know what you think about the stuff we talk about, or let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, there's
And
also
we'll-
stuff that we watch and we put on Letterboxd and we're not going to talk about on the show too. So
Yeah.
it's a good way to keep on top
Keep
of
up
what-
with that. But also, if you want to hear more about it, like Saltburn, for instance, it's like now that people are talking about it, people are like, oh, I want to hear your opinion. So,
Yeah.
yeah, let us know and maybe we can bring it up on the show.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week. Adios, cousins.